Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports, and the Springboks have done it. 19 points to 16, match winners, test series winners. The Springboks, once again, 12 years later, Morné Steyn, the man who will write the Springboks into the history books, 12 years apart, and once again, kicking a late penalty to win the series. You cannot make this stuff up. A phenomenal contest, a phenomenal tour, an incredible moment, and just really emotional, actually, to be honest, after that game. I mean, it was such a good, maybe not the best sort of watchable game in terms of this enterprising, phenomenal rugby to watch, but so tense, so physical, so close, and just an absolute pleasure to witness, to be honest. That is the story from Cape Town. The Springboks have won the series with a 19 points to 16 victory down in the Cape Town Stadium. Morné Steyn, the hero of the match. Before we break the game down, please do smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. In terms of how the game unfolded, we saw an early penalty missed by Dan Biggar, which was quite a big moment in the game, I suppose, really, if you look at it. But if you also look at the Andre Pollard misses, maybe less to extent. But Dan Biggar was then left the game in the 11th minute, and Finn Russell came on, who I thought actually played very, very well. Andre Pollard then got the first points on the board, the 12th minute, a kick goal there. But Finn Russell, 3 minutes later, levelling things up at the 16th minute, 3-3. And after that, the British and Irish Lions pretty much parked in the Springbok territory, where the Springboks were getting nailed quite a lot. Penalties, lots of discipline issues, and that eventually sort of saw the British and Irish Lions get quite a few kickable penalties, but they kept going to the line. They wanted to score that try, and they got it with Ken Owens in the 19th minute. Finn Russell adding the extras in the 20th. Andre Pollard then returned with a penalty in the 36th minute, right before half-time, which I think was an important moment. And the Springboks had some very good defence, where the British and Irish Lions kept going for the line, kept trying to go for all 7 points instead of taking the 3, and not always being able to convert that. So half-time score was 10 points to 6. And at half-time, you looked at the stats, it was 69% possession for the Lions. It was 74% territory. It was really one way. The Springboks were almost looking a little bit rattled. They had done well to keep the points at only 4 points difference. The second half, everything shifted. The Springboks were once again on the front foot, like they were last weekend in the second half. A big moment in the game was Wyn Jones going off in the 44th minute. I thought he scrummed very, very well in the first half. Had that Springbok scrum under a lot of pressure, but Marco Vinipola coming on in the 44th minute, and the extended Springbok pressure eventually resulted in a penalty in the 47th minute that we took the 3 points, and Andre Pollard missed. We then saw Kwagga Smith coming on. We saw Luca and Dickey coming on for the Lions. Pollard then missed a second penalty in the 54th minute, where we had all the possession, all the chances, all the territory, and Pollard had left 6 points out there. And at the time, I was losing my mind, because there weren't particularly difficult penalties either. I actually don't think Pollard played particularly well. But that was when the South Africa unloaded their bench. Malcolm Marx, Malcolm Mustard, Vincent Koch. And it was a kick from the Lions, which landed in the hands of Lukhanyo in about the 56th minute, and boom, the first time Cheslin Kolbe had decent opportunity. Lukhanyo taking the ball off the kickoff, drawing a man inside ball to Willie Leroux. It was Kobus Reinach, Willie, and Cheslin Kolbe going down the blind side on the right-hand side. Weighted pass perfect to Kolbe. Kolbe was looking for the inside ball. He got away from Liam Williams and then got away from Luca and Dickey to go over. There was then about a half an hour TMO check. It really was very poor from the officials how long that took. But eventually the try was awarded, and this time Andre Pollard nailing the conversion, 13 points to 10. The Springboks then butchering the kickoff, allowing the Lions back in. And the Lions then had a really good 4-minute sort of period where Finn Russell eventually then leveled the scores in the 63rd minute. We then saw Herschel Jantjies and Morné Steyn coming on in the 65th minute. Morné Steyn immediately 2 minutes later nailing a penalty to make it 16-13. But 8 minutes later, the Lions and putting the Springboks under a lot of pressure. Finn Russell leveling things in the 75th minute, and literally Morné Steyn in the 79th minute kicking it into the lead. And then Finn Russell kicking a short kickoff, which the Lions won back under a lot of pressure, almost winning a penalty on the ground, but the Springboks conceding a scrum. And in the last scrum of the game, Vincent Koch came through. Vincent Koch and Trevor Nyakane, once again, huge moments. I mean, for example, the Springboks on the 5-meter line, under a lot of pressure. Sam Simmons ready to break off the back of the line scrum. Trevor Nyakane winning that scrum. Vincent Koch and Trevor Nyakane played some of the fewest minutes of the last sort of 2 games, and yet could arguably be the most important players we've actually had in those last 2 games. If you look at the stats by the end of it, 63% possession for the Lions, 63% territory, 1 try apiece, 4 penalty 3. Just the 3 points were separated. The Lions ran more meters. They beat 18 more defenders. They had more clean breaks, almost twice as many gain line carries, more than twice as many passes, more offloads, more turnovers won, the same amount of kicks from hand, more rucks won. The Lions dominated every single statistic, and yet the Springboks, the defense, what they do, 131 of 159 tackles. I don't think they must have missed about 3 tackles the entire second half. The Lions, 61 of 71 tackles. Goal kicking success rate, 71% for the Springboks, 80% for the Lions. Ruck success rate, 94-97. Line-out success rate, the Lions weren't great. Bongi Manambi really struggled in the first half. Scrums were pretty even. They sort of swayed in the second half, though, when the Springboks really started to get into their groove. Penalties conceded, 15 compared to 19. So not a lot of in it, to be honest. Just a proper grueling test match. It was one of those games where if you didn't understand rugby and you were just a neutral, you might not have enjoyed it that much in terms of being a bit messy and very tight. But if you were embedded in that game, it was such an up and down, one team playing well, then the next team playing well. It was just an incredible spectacle. And if we had to pick out some of the performers from the Springboks, Franco Mostert, 7 carries, 11 tackles. Sia Khaleesi, the captain, 8 tackles, 1 carry. For the Springboks as well, Evan Etzebeth, I thought he was terrific. 3 carries, 9 tackles. Frans Mahoob was pretty solid. He also made quite a few tackles in the first half. Jasper Wiese, 7 carries, 11 tackles. Not a single tackle missed by him. Didn't think he had the greatest game, but in the sort of tight phase, he was pretty good. For the Lions, Jack Conan was pretty solid, 9 carries, 6 tackles. Mario Toja was quite quiet with 7 carries and 9 tackles, but it wasn't always sort of the face of it. Ken Owens was quite busy. And in the back line, I mean, we didn't see a lot of running, but Cheslin Colby only needed 1 opportunity. 3 defenders beaten, 43 meters gained. But the Lions' wings actually look quite promising. I mean, I think Josh Adams had 43 meters. He beat 2 defenders, a clean break, and an offload. Duran van der Merwe beat 5 defenders, a clean break. So it was one of those games which could have gone either way, but it didn't. And that's the main thing. So for the Springboks, an incredible series victory. For the Lions, and for the Lions fans, I think we can all just agree it was a fantastic series. It wasn't the series you wanted. It wasn't the series you predicted. But it came down to literally the last couple of moments. And how much more can you ask from a spectacle? So a really fantastic weekend of rugby, a fantastic tour. Let me know what you thought of the game down in the comments below. Smash the like on the video. Subscribe to the channel as well. My name is Steven. Thank you very much for watching. And I'll chat to you soon.